My favorite teacher was Miss Simmons. I just felt comfortable being able to talk to her, and we just clicked. Like I was able to I even cried, talking to her.
I think it was probably my home economics teacher. That was the only black teacher.
My first teacher who taught me how to read and write Urdu, his name was Nasir Khan.
This one's a little bit unusual in that I actually went to school with my dad. So yeah, he was definitely one of my favorite teachers.
My American Sign Language teacher from sophomore year of high school. This is someone that I will always hold dear to me for my entire life. This is a teacher that you simply cannot forget about.
Welcome to a special episode of PS Weekly, the sound of the New York City school system. I'm your host, Bernie Carmona, a junior at the Beacon School in Manhattan. This is Teacher Appreciation Week, and so we're dedicating today's episode to teachers, those dedicated adults, sometimes strict, sometimes goofy, who make us feel safe, make us feel seen, who push us to excel. But before we get too sentimental, here's a Chalkbeat bulletin.
I'm Amy Zimmer from Chalkbeat. Here's a recap of the week's biggest education stories. As unrest takes over college campuses, some New York City high school students are rethinking their own college plans. After watching the pro-Palestinian student protests and the responses by university administrators, some feel drawn to the activism on campus, while others are concerned about safety. New York City Schools Chancellor David Banks, who was at Columbia University and City College when police raided encampments, told reporters that he supported student activism, but his message to student activists: don't allow that discontent to morph into hatred for anyone. The chancellor is planning to undo a reform that gave more 8th graders a shot at some of Manhattan's most desired high schools. The controversial move would once again allow students living in District 2 to get first dibs on local high schools during the upcoming fall admissions season. Integration advocates worry that could roll back progress, diversifying several of the district's coveted schools. To stay up to date on local education news throughout the week, go to chalkbeat.org/newsletters and sign up for the New York Daily Roundup.
On behalf of the team at PS Weekly, I want to extend our heartfelt gratitude to all teachers, wherever they may be. To every educator out there, we want you to know, we see you, and we appreciate you. Many of us have a favorite teacher, or can recall a moment when we felt truly supported by them. In today's episode, we'll be sharing some of those memories. Let's hear from some of my fellow PS Weekly reporters.
My favorite teacher was, and always will be, my American Sign Language teacher from sophomore year of high school.
This is Shoa Khan. You heard her at the beginning. She started telling us about her favorite teacher, Patrice Randall.
She had such a huge impact on me by just being there for me. She was someone that understood sophomore year language and lingo, and she would laugh at our jokes. She was just someone that you can talk to. There's a specific time in 10th grade where I was really struggling a little bit, and I did not know who else to go to besides her. And when I did that, obviously she gave me advice. She listened to me. I cried a little bit. The day after, she went out of her way to tell me how incredible she thinks I am and how much I don't give myself credit and how much I need to start believing in myself more, as corny as it may sound, with tears in her own eyes. I knew I can trust, and I will always hold dear to me for my entire life. This is a teacher that you simply cannot forget about.
Hi, my name is Dorothy Ha. My favorite teacher is Mr. Nieves. I've been fortunate enough to have him as a teacher for 3 years now. 2 out of those 3, he was my English teacher, and now he is my AP African American Studies teacher. No matter what subject he's teaching me, he has been a pillar of support and of wisdom for me. Because I used to be a very shy student, he really incentivized his students to speak, and I think it helped me be more confident in being vocal. And I don't think I would be as comfortable speaking my mind on subjects that are important to me today if it weren't for Mr. Nieves. He's proofread my poetry, and when that poetry has won prizes, he's also helped me proofread my speeches for the acceptance ceremonies as well. Having him as a teacher has definitely contributed to me becoming a more curious learner. I recall this one particular moment that was really funny. It was Senior Spirit Week, and the theme of the day was Dress Like a Teacher Day. And Mr. Nieves always wears pretty much the same ensemble to school. He wears a button-down shirt, dress pants, and a tie. That day, I was planning to surprise him with my outfit. I walk into the classroom, and we were literally wearing the exact same outfit, down to the colors and everything. We were genuinely each other's twins that day, and the class all had a good laugh over it. Anyway, thanks for being a wonderful teacher, Mr. Nieves.
And here's our resident Chalkbeat reporter, Alex Zimmerman. Hi, Alex. So, if you can describe one of your favorite teachers, who would that be?
Yeah, so this one's a little bit unusual. I had my dad as a teacher when I was in 4th and 5th grade. One lesson still sticks out to me. We were learning about long division and some of the terminology, and he could tell that we were all bored and kind of like losing it a little bit. So to get our attention back, he just jumped up onto the first row of students' desks with a yardstick and was kind of waving it around and slicing it through the air as he explained terms like dividend and divisor. At first, everyone was just startled, but it ended up working. Like, everyone started paying attention. So yeah, he was definitely one of my favorite teachers.
Our reporters also spoke to their family members about their favorite teachers.
Hi, this is Dorothy. Can you say your full name and your relationship to me?
Hi, this is Agnes Chan, is Dorothy's mom.
My mom grew up in a village in China before immigrating to the United States. So who was your favorite teacher and how did they impact your life?
My favorite teacher is the science teacher here, and he's very supportive and encouraging. After I immigrated here for a few years, and he recognized my ability and allowed me to be a tutor so I could tutor my classmates. And he let me realize that I could do it even though I have a language barrier. And he made me believe myself and build up my confidence.
Yeah, that is very good. You always need someone who sees your potential, right? Do you think the way that you went to school or that you got your education affected how you tried to raise me?
Of course, because I experienced two different cultures, two different methods of the school systems. I know which is better. So I could choose the better way to raise my kids to be less stressful and more healthier. At least it's mentally healthier.
Next up, we have our reporter, Sanaa Stokes. She interviewed her mom, Felicia Harris, earlier this year.
So I went to a school called Memorial High School, and I left New York and moved to Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Which teacher had the most impact on you, and what do you think you would remember of them?
It was probably my home economics teacher in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That was the only Black teacher in that school. She probably had the most impact on me because she was helpful and she wanted me to be a part of pageants, and she included me.
Who am I here with today?
Aftab Ahmed, Shua's father.
Who was your favorite teacher and how did they impact your life?
Oh, this is a very difficult question. I will begin like my first teacher who taught me how to read and write Urdu. I remember him most fondly. He was an exception in that he did not beat his students and he even respected his students. That was very rare. Children were not respected in those days. I remember many moments when he used to address me and I could feel that he was very affectionate. name was Nasir Khan. I feel that I should be like him in like respecting students and loving them. Maybe he has something he has left in me that is still on.
I recently sat down with my sister, Alex. Who has been your favorite teacher and how did they impact your life?
I had a teacher named Mr. Blanco, and he was a very sweet, caring teacher who really advocated for us. And with the school, he made a lot of partnerships with this company called Build NYC. Not a company, sorry, like a program that helped young entrepreneurs in low-income neighborhoods. He would like support you a lot as long as you were curious and asked questions. He was very helpful. We were learning about how to create these investor pitches. It was all of these skills that I had never heard of before. And yeah, it was just something that I don't think anybody expected kids from the Bronx to ever want to learn.
How do you feel like Mr. Blanco's teaching helped you in college?
Well, college is very hard because you have to do a lot of networking and you're thrown into an entirely new environment that I don't think a lot of kids like us are prepared for. And yeah, I have trouble as well, of course, but I'm not really scared of interacting with other people and networking because of him.
Before we go, of course I have to shout out my favorite teacher, my U.S. History and Ethnic Studies teacher, Laura Rubin. Her teaching style has given me a deeper understanding of social justice and how the topic is connected to history overall. I think about what I'm learning constantly, and it's inspired me to work on photography and podcasting projects about immigration and educational equity. I'm so grateful for the impact that she's had on me and the way I think about the world. So thank you, Miss Rubin. Okay, your turn. We want to hear from you. Who was your favorite teacher? How did they impact your life? Send a message or voice memo to psweekly@chalkbeat.org. We just might feature you in a future episode. That's our show for today. We're back next week with an episode on food equity. We're going behind the lunch counter to a test kitchen to see what's for lunch. You won't want to miss it.
My thoughts about it is if you want to promote health, that's cool, but also give the kids what they like as well, you know?
I love my vegans, but come on now, I get some meat on the menu.
Until next time.
Class dismissed.
PS Weekly is a collaboration between The Bell and Chalkbeat, made possible by generous support from the Pinkerton Foundation, the Summerfield Foundation, FJC, and Hindenburg Systems. This special episode was hosted and co-produced by me, Bernie Carmona. Co-producers for this episode include
Dorothy Ha, Showa Khan,
and
Jose Santana.
Our marketing lead this week was me, Bernie. Our executive producer for the show is
Joanne DeLuna.
Executive editors are
Amy Zimmer
and
Taylor McGraw.
Additional production support was provided by
Sabrina Duquesne
and
Mira Gordon.
Special thanks to our interns
Miriam Galicia
and
McKenna Turner.
And a big shout out to our amazing volunteers. Music from Blue Dot Sessions. And the jingle you heard at the beginning of this episode was created by the one and only
Erica Wong.
Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.